Scary, that's the idea. I was trying to do scary. Did I achieve it? You choose. Let me know. Yeah, well, this is because scary is the name of the game today as we continue in a part 2. Very exciting, isn't it? Part 2, Corinthians. Well, no, Corinthians is the name of the song, and the name of the album I'm a little reticent to say again, but I have said it in part 1, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. Certainly not a popular toy these days. So, yeah, what did we cover in the first half of this, one of the best albums of the year, one of the most interesting, and one of the most... Let's actually retune my guitar. It's alright to be out of tune for a scary thing, but... Don't be out of tune generally, that's very embarrassing. There's loads of things that are really interesting about this album, but its main sort of thematic connection between the songs is this creepiness, this horror feeling. Very unsettling elements play into that. Unusual harmonies, unusual timbres, weird sounding instruments, weird sounding voices, unexpected voices, unexpected flows to some degree. Well, we're just going to look out for those kinds of things continuing on in this album. I'm not sure we'll finish it today, as this will likely only be an hour long anyway. I'm doing this because of this, in this week of Whoever's Lord, beginning the 24th of November 2025. Very little music was released on this Friday that I was interested in. Blut aus Nord was one. An interesting album it may well be, but I didn't want to chance it, and it was the only option really. So we're going with a new part 2, and this is very exciting, almost a channel first. So let's see how it goes. We're not doing a bingo either, just because I want to get through as many songs as possible. Scarecrow in the fair watching the spectacles. Okay, so immediately starting with this weird chord. Is it a G at the bottom? Let's hear it. Yeah, so it sounds like this kind of thing, but again so that's a strange chord by itself, like a 7 with a flat 9, G7, there's the 7, and there's the flat 9, which is a really aggressive relationship to a lot of these notes. So that's a scary, scary chord, and it's got this sort of ever changing nature to it. It never settles just on one particular sound, and it's got this bitty timbre which keeps changing too, so really unsettled overall. Lots of things playing into that kind of scary feeling. The fade in arguably is also playing into that, and then the voices. Scarecrow in the fair watching the spectacle. It's still no dessert till you finish your vegetables. Okay, pretty straightforward rhyme and sensible lengths of line there, but what's weird about it is that we've got the main vocal, and then we've got that pitched down. Is it pitched down like 2 octaves maybe? Yeah, so the main one's around the... Yeah, okay, maybe just 1 octave then. Scarecrow in the fair watching the spectacle. It's still no dessert till you finish your vegetable circle. Yeah, and it's interesting that it's just an octave as well, because an octave would actually sound quite nice, really. Oh, have we disconnected? Ah, dang it. back on.
Circumspect, resurrect him in the vestibule of the building where they killed him. I'm true and living. Fuck what they telling.
There's a few just, I think, blips in the backing as well, where it sort of seems to restart. Let's not go from 2.
Circumspect, resurrect him in the vestibule of the building where they killed him. I'm true and
every so often, definitely not in an expected place, but there's this kind of just tiny blip. So that's another thing giving us a really uncomfortable ride. Okay, there's a low synth note. Bow, 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 bow. Again, a very changeable timbre, a very changeable sound to it, going from the ah to oh, but much more recognizable. It feels much more like the beginning of a conventional song as this comes in, and it's keeping a beat as well. Now, it is on this low note and it is unaccompanied by any other rhythmic feature, so it still feels quite menacing and ominous. I don't know if that's particularly scary, that kind of echo, but it's fun anyway. So there was a weird sound which sounded a bit like a G7 chord, which was occupying a totally different acoustic. It had its own room sound to it. It just burst in for one moment there and then faded away, and now we've got these mumbling voices, not whispering exactly, very soft and very close in your ear. And one's in English. I think one is in French, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, lyrics are not my thing.
hungry eyes in the mirror like Corinthians.
Okay, and as the next bit of verse comes in, they sort of fade away, but not quite in time. There is still a moment of overlap there.
Hungry eyes in the mirror like Corinthians.
I'm now revising the French idea. I think one of them is warped in a strange way, I think. I might be wrong. Anyway.
Uncanny Valley AI hit him with the hezzy screaming, Carrie, my vision swims. Girlfriend when
was that Carrie? Carrie? Scary film.
every around you like.
Okay, we've changed bass note now. So it's G, bow, bow, down to the C. 5 to 1. So actually that's a pretty conventional in this kind of G7 to C minor. Is it going to go there?
2 cents if it's on side.
No, so most of the chord is staying around the G7, so we just changed the bass note so that it's actually just a little more clashing with that. The bass movement itself is quite comfortable, but where it lands jars with the rest of the recording.
Say less, where I see it ain't no past tense.
But here, on the E flat, it's actually quite nice, although if that chord is pretty much that, it's pretty strange, I suppose. Yeah. No, hang on, more like that. Oh, hard to play. Yeah, scary.
Little kid, tiny desk, itty bitty.
Okay, and then we're back to G.
Violins, big head, blue lips. If you never came back from the dead, can't tell me shit. 12 billion USD hovering over the Gaza Strip.
We've got an extra melody in there, doing this, which is pretty comfortable, but again it's over that C, so it's not really playing very nicely with the C. It feels a little different.
I want to know what it costs to live, what it costs to hide.
And when we get to this E flat, this is probably our strangest relationship with that chord in the background, because of that note. So this relationship here, we get this augmented chord with a major 7 at the top and some more notes, but those are revolving round and round. But that's where we get a kind of comfortable core of, and that is a really unusual chord. Augmented chords are unusual by themselves, and to have a sort of stable major seventh at the top as well, really strange. Like, this chord by itself is really nice, but with that bass note, it just sours the whole thing, makes it a lot more creepy. Back to G. Yeah, it feels like there's more things coming in sort of the middle ground here, just adding creepy layers.
Fingernails sharp. I snatched the lights out of cat so I could see in the dark, so I could see who you are.
Okay, added more to that lower layer. Interesting that we haven't got any drums, isn't it? This is a, I guess, a trend now in hip hop, isn't it? Drumless hip hop. I guess horror is also a fair trend in hip hop too, but yeah, both things done very well here, and I sort of think they reinforce each other. When you've got a recognizable drum groove, it's hard to really amp up the fear, because you've got that comfortable thing to hold on to. Yeah, this is now down an octave, and more things going on in that lower layer is always going to add more kind of oppressive feeling to the sound.
Desert like the house is sawed, sky hung with a crescent, a veil of stars, pick up weaving through dead cars, surface to air, camouflage in the truck bed, on guard.
Yeah, there's some higher layers coming in though as well. Up here, like, yeah. Which sort of do go a bit more with the chords, seemingly, but with the C minor and the G.
Best believe them crackers won't make it.
That. Yeah, it feels like it's coming in and out. Strange kind of sound.
Mars, 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 Mars.
Repeating Mars. A little weird, wouldn't you say? I don't know why. It sounds like we're going to have a flip over of person now. Let's check the credits. Who have we got? LP, sort of, I mean, maybe LP is rapping here, but he's the producer. Billy Woods is definitely, I think, who we just heard, so this is probably Despot now.
Ain't never asked to be here, so when I decide to leave.
Okay, so now the drums have come in, which is interesting. And they're giving us a sort of rooting of the rhythm. It's not a comfortable one per se. What have we got going on? Yeah, this build. Yeah, there's the C minor. There's the E flat. And then
I ain't never asked to be here, so when I decide to leave, all them devils in the details rush to either side of me. Where we going all depends.
yeah, bump bump. No, is it quite that? It's almost that. Here we go again.
Mars, 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 Mars.
I ain't never asked to be here, so when I decide to leave, all them devils in the details rush to either side of me. Where we going all depends.
Yeah, so there's an upbeat kick drum, dum boom boom, and then it's dum dum. So we get that one So there's the E and the and before that. 1 2 1 3, and then the next one we still get the upbeat again. So that's on the the and of 4. 1 and no 1 3 and, but then the 1 doesn't come in the next one. It's the E after. So da da. So we get the bum bum da da dum 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 da. No, not quite. Da 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 da. More or less. You can hear it. Missing that 1 is the really uncomfortable feeling thing about it. I would say we've still got a snare backbeat on the 3 each bar to smack, and 1 2 smack. So that adds a level of familiarity to this beat, but the kick drum coming in particular moments, as it does, adds a level of unfamiliarity.
When I finally meet my maker, I have something up my sleeve, and I find out if the God above me bleed the same as me, cause I'm tired of calling out for him and falling on my knees.
So we've got occasional lines doubled between the voices. Is that scary? I don't know, maybe a little bit. The monotone nature of each of the voices. We've got the falling on my knees. My voice is not great today. And we've got oh, la, 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 from Billy as well. So we've got these two very different voices, but they're locked in together and they're both sticking on the same note. I don't know. It's sort of a bit scary.
And I'm never coming back from that, so don't wait up for me.
We've got the ba-da-da-da back. But it's da-da-da-da down there. And it's really in the right headphone and slightly more distorted sounding. So again, adding an element of surprise to the sound. Maybe just making it exciting, you know. But either way, we're sort of looking out for horror ideas here, aren't we?
You ain't gotta leave a light on, you ain't gotta hide a key. Well, I ain't been myself lately, least I ain't been under you, who wasted all the time you had.
There's that higher string kind of sound, but it's really lost in the space, isn't it? It's very blanketed with noise.
Talking about what you about to do, when you finally knock on heaven's door, they ain't expecting you. And if you don't get the fuck off the stoop right now, they gonna shoot. Same old song, I sing it one more time.
Okay, sounds like a different take here. And maybe that's intentional, and maybe the voice therefore is deliberately with this slightly heavier sound to it. But it's gone from quite a clear sound before to a little bit like I'm tired of this.
On the day you're gone and nobody gon' cry, but you take what's yours and I make it all mine till the money's so long like it's saying bye-bye to you.
Okay, big gap there, big drop. And yeah, I guess it's just one whole bar if we're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, which I think the raps are sort of geared towards, but overall I'm thinking of it more like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 bars or 1 bar depending on how you want to think about it, and we just have the voiceover there with a quite uncomfortable acoustic sound as reverbs drag on. Have a hear of it again.
Time on the day you're gone and nobody gon' cry, but you take what's yours and I make.
So this is all quite heavy, and then
money's so long like it's saying bye-bye to you.
It stays fairly heavy, but in the air it's like, yeah, a really thick atmosphere. It slowly dissipates through it, but it's still, yeah, pretty uncomfortable.
Clip them wings, change the way time flies for you. 9 lifetimes, cast turn blind eyes to you. Won't ride, die.
And we're definitely not aiming for being particularly on the beat here with these raps. We at least in this one, when I've been paying attention, it's hard to pay attention to everything going on. But we've got the 1 comes down. So we're missing the 1 consistently there, which is, it adds to the feel. Is it a particularly scary thing? I don't really think so, but it's definitely a little bit more wonky than you would expect.
Drive by or lie for you. Ain't nowhere to run, nowhere to hide for you. They ain't get far without an arm and a leg. And then the beast below the street showed up and told them they dead.
Okay, so slightly more on the beat there with this next flow. Beast, okay, really kind of classic shape of a line as well.
They need to meet me like they need a fucking hole in the head. And if you leave it up to me, that be what all of them get.
Also, I haven't mentioned it, but that kind of beep sound has been coming in and out, hasn't it? Fairly often. Just in the background there, adding to our sort of chaotic environment. Okay, our voices are back, aren't they? It could be Japanese. No, it could be. Could it be Chinese? Maybe. There's some like sh sounds which are making me think it's Chinese, but I'm not very good at Chinese and I can't necessarily say if it's that. It could be lots of languages. It could also be fake. I don't know. Anyway, it's strange to hear two voices in quick succession, sort of speaking the same but in different languages. It makes you wonder whether they are continuing from each other or repeating each other. Strange, uncomfortable. These are the buzzwords of today. That's a fun song, isn't it? There was something else I thought of, but I can't remember what it is, so we're going to go on. Thinking about the sort of structure of it, we've got two main verses in the middle. Those are bookended by these murmurs, these voices, and then we've got one little verse right on the beginning. Quite an unconventional shape. I mean, the large part of it is more conventional, but what's interesting about that is we have a drumless verse and a drummy verse, don't we? So that's again a little bit unconventional. Okay, Pitchforks and Halos. Immediately starting off with some heavy noise, disconnected from the previous track, just all out, quite lo-fi noise, but high frequency. Yeah, there's this one particular high frequency really grating at the top. It's not that high, but it's high enough to be annoying. And then, what does the rest of the place sound like? Kind of sounds like a sort of night driving soundscape, maybe in the rain. Maybe with some jazz going on in the bar next door. Okay, sort of slowly getting away from that image, now down to a more rumbling bass tone. Yeah, more things are coming in on the periphery here which sound like they're not connected to this atmosphere, but still keeping that note going. An A flat, G sharp. Okay, more conventional drum beat here. Da 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 da. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 3 and 4, I guess, rather than and. So that's conventional. We've got this strange timbre on this high note. Kind of maybe a guitar, and it's just been morphed and it's going through this strange filter sweep. With some high kind of sounds as well, which sound a little bit warped in their own way. The kick drum actually has a really high frequency click on it, really on the edge of my hearing. Okay, and that atmosphere has changed quite considerably, hasn't it? Yeah, we've got a lot of strange noise going on. And in the background, the sort of antithesis to the main beat, which is ba ba da, we've got this kind of shaker sound. Sounds like it's in a shaker in a box or something like that, but it's going on every other beat. So the other one's going bam ba bam, and then we've got that's the idea. That's the basic thing going on, but it's much further back than the main part of the percussion. Okay, some very bit crushed sounds here. You can hear the rubbing of that bit crusher, just making it sound more sort of old gamey kind of sound, but there's definitely a piano there doing some really haunted high things, higher than the guitar will go. Yeah, something like that. So giving us a G sharp minor kind of chord with a little bit of a Phrygian feel maybe. And then that's a held sort of, not quite an A chord, but something with a lot of A's in it above that G sharp minor. A lot of tension. Is there a build, or do you think we're keeping on a similar dynamic level here. For me, it doesn't feel quite like it's building, but maybe some things are getting closer and some things are further away. Okay, the drum beat suddenly changed and the piano has started glitching out in different times. It starts wah, 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 da, da, and then gets slower. Weird. Okay, and the drum beat has got much slower. Still similar. It's going boom, boom, da. But whereas before it was more like boom, da, boom, da. Now it's boom, boom, ba. So it's almost half speed, really. We still got the same kind of piano riff going on. But yeah, it feels very different with the different drum beat underneath.
Halos like the way home. Sometimes you gotta pop in and remind them. Dead zone daps.
A little bit of saxophone there, maybe from the beginning, that we heard in that bar. But yeah, very so it gives us our G sharp. I think it gives us that really. Doesn't quite feel as engaged in the Phrygian.
Sometimes you gotta pop in and remind them. Dead zone daps.
It's really halfway between, isn't it? It's not that, it's not that. Somewhere in between. Uncomfortable timbre and, well, no, comfortable timbre, saxophone, all comforting for most people. But the actual notes chosen are pretty creepy and the sort of tuning of it seems a little off.
Merge table, vinyl signing, comatose reclaiming my timing. Thank you for rewinding.
Well, that note feels a little more in line with that A flat in the bass, so that's nice. Is the rhythm of the rap in with the other rhythm?
Times you gotta pop in and remind them. Dead zone daps, merge table, vinyl signing, comatose reclaiming my timing. Thank you for rewinding. Yeah,
they're pretty much locked together, but there's a lot of freedom with the flow of the rap. There are specific rhyming words, and those are coming not necessarily in the same place in the bar.
In advance, Caliban on Caribbean island, barefoot in the water, eyeing that horizon, and the B-boy stands. Their time is over, everything is timing. Their time is over and they know it, that's why they wildin'. Right up until the last second, them idiots really thought I was just rhyming.
Yeah, so that means that some of these lines feel a lot longer than others before they get to that rhyming part that finishes off. So as a sort of, you know, perceptual experience, a phenomenological experience, if you like, it feels quite quite uncomfortable, full of unexpected turns, which, you know, is again in keeping. This is why this album has been so successful this year. It's because it really commits to this uncomfortable aesthetic, to sort of dumb it down somewhat, but it really commits to it in a uncompromising way that is true across so many different elements of it.
I take a book for the
sudden cut of the sax there, just stops. Fun idea.
Trip, short or long, the stern words of dead revolutionaries who were wrong.
Yeah, so the basic chord of this, we've got like that, but we've got this constant sort of A dissonance there. So it's almost like the one we had in the previous song, but it is in a different key center, but it still uses the same dissonance at the heart of it, this minor ninth thing, which a lot of people think is the most dissonant thing.
The blurred word of all the centuries, I wonder where the time gone.
Big reverb on the snare there. I think we've had that a couple of times. What does that serve? Unexpected sort of, wow, I don't know, yeah.
Wonder where the time gone. The hood of the time machine is still warm. People make time for the things they really want.
Okay, everything fading out towards this last 10 seconds. People make time for the things they really want. And then this sort of military snare, sort of drum rolls, kind of building up. Is it that, or does it just kind of sound like that? Yeah, maybe it was just a motor or something like that. It's just keeping this constant rhythm, and then yeah, it sort of dissipates into the atmosphere in a cool way. And that last breath, really interesting set of things going on there. Structurally, this one is more conventional. We had an intro, we had a long verse, and then we had something slightly different at the end. But these intros and outros are not necessarily matching the main weft of the song, so that's a kind of interesting element we have here. Yeah, still in keeping, isn't it? If we find one that is really, really out, then I will definitely go, well, this doesn't serve this album. But I don't think we're going to do that, having listened to this album a few times now. Okay, so our classic sort of pitched percussion noise there, like bells. What could they be from? It could be Tibetan singing bowls. I doubt we're going to have it on the credits, but it's worth a look. No, sadly not. By the way, they are not tuned to 12-tone equal temperament. So even though they're playing these three notes, it doesn't quite sound like that because the notes are slightly out from what they would be on a guitar. And then we've got this woo-doo-doo-doo thing in the background as well. So yeah, two different pitch systems working at the same time, and they're very, very disjointed. Yeah, a creepy overlapping, very atonal. Okay. Sounds again like the return of the sax, giving us a sort of B minor chord there, which doesn't really go with either of those. Maybe it goes with that one a little bit, but yeah, still, they don't cohere very easily.
Today I watched a man die in a hole from the comfort of my home.
Okay, so this is Billy again, but this time we've got a low pass filter on the sound. So he sounds a little bit muffled. You can't hear the high frequencies very much in the sound. Almost like it's on the phone, right? That's kind of how it sounds. Or maybe on an old tape machine.
The drone flew real low. No.
It's got a very fast echo though to it as well. So that's a psychedelic kind of dub feeling thing. Yeah, uncomfortable.
Rush, real.
Very disconnected from the background.
Slow. He curled up into himself, a fetus in the...
Weird noises in those cymbals. I think they're hit and then reversed. This strange noise.
Boom, boom was the earth. Grenades landed at his feet and he scrabbled in the dirt.
Okay, so that one, which was around these ones, has sort of stopped moving and now just is making this kind of thick chord.
We've got a question about this. Is this straight?
Yeah, so it's like an E minor pentatonic over a B minor. So yeah, so we get some interesting dissonances there, but nothing really extreme. The singing bowls are definitely more off than everything else, but they almost just feel like window dressing. But then none of these things feel particularly in the same world as each other. Okay, very weird vocal there.
As close as we'll be to the furthest planet.
Yeah, so that one's got such a close echo that the word of the echo, which is of a similar volume level, is getting in the way of the first one. It's really a strange noise.
As close as we be to the furthest planet.
Okay, there. I think they're a bit closer, and it's a little easier to hear.
As close as we be to the furthest planet.
Yeah, there's a wobble on the sound. Maybe that's extra as well. This kind of thing.
As close as we be to the furthest planet.
Okay, we've kind of lost most of the music we had before, and we've got this oppressive heavy noise. Still a little bit of pitched stuff, but mainly it's this just big black hole at the bottom.
Did not hear anything.
As close as we be.
Another voice on the phone there as well, wasn't there?
To the furthest planet.
In the triplex hembotronic, miscegenate.
Okay, suddenly changing into a different feel. What stays is the oppressive sound, with a little bit of this chord still sticking around. Something like that. Yeah, that's sticking around. But then we get these heavy drums that feel a little capped by their distortion.
Hear anything.
As close as we be to the furthest planet.
In the triplex hembotronic, miscegenate misfit.
Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Pretty clear beat there. Boom, da, 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 da. Yeah, pretty straightforward, and the voice just goes straight over the top.
To the furthest planet.
Let's hear it again.
In the triplex hembotronic, miscegenate misfit dial-up transmission, freak my impedance.
Yeah, still, I mean, not even really a rhyme there that I could pick up on, or maybe there was some internal rhymes, but not at the end of the lines, definitely. So it feels quite jarring, and it's quite an open texture. We've really just got this weird chord in the background, main vocal, drum, mainly just one drum as well. We do have a snare occasionally, but mainly just the kick, just hitting really hard, and yeah, occasional extra vocals popping in from time to time. But yeah, really sparse, but nonetheless very, very heavy.
Full kill game stage in the box off the chart, sub bass.
Okay, a few cymbals coming in. This kind of thing.
Suggested killing more cops, sex tech fendom, doing it in the park. Fucking promise out my enemies, headshot in the dark. Mimetic glyph, holographic in the asylum of empire. Trench fire, silent weapons.
Yeah, so the rhyme scheme is really a very varied and very quick to change as well. So it's really feels almost like a spoken word passage. It's kind of cool, and we've got some noise coming in the background too. What's that?
Body horror, private pool, private pool.
Well, that's the herald of our new section. We've lost the drums again, and we've still got a little bit of the overarching sort of resonances from the beginning, but we're again lost in space. Okay, a synth bass. I heard it. So doing something like that while this other one goes super high. Okay, very fast echoes again. Ma 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 ma. Well, not very fast. Lots of very present echoes. Yeah. Almost feels like it's doing that, but that's just because of this disruptive distortion on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And in comparison to that, a very clear voice going yeah just then.
My
Okay.
boot shine, my teeth shine, my collar loose.
Okay. So the voice has come back and the drums have come back. It sounds like a similar verse actually. Let's just hear that.
As close as we be
Where
to
is
the
it?
furthest planet. To the furthest planet.
In the triplex hembotronic, miscegenate misfit.
It's not the
My
same.
boot shine, my teeth shine, my collar loose. Big ball still, the bills damn.
Oh, but we've got that pitched down feeling again. Got that ba-da and ba-da. Not an octave this time, but so maybe a little more creepy in that it's a less consonant interval.
Touch denim tears, deep state crowd thrills, oral worlds, neutral ass eating.
Still with the quick echoes, so yeah, feeling really, really odd. Really, yeah, trying to break your mind.
Raw Deluxe, War of the Temple, how much would you cost?
We've lost the drums again very, very quickly this time. Synth is back,
As close as we'll be to the furthest planet.
and there's our refrain
As close as
again.
we'll be to the furthest planet.
Okay, with a shout of it behind a distortion wall. Loads of things, loads of things.
As close as we'll be to the furthest planet. As close as we'll be to the furthest planet.
Yeah, really, really loads of echo, but not much going on in the echo.
But folks, that
So there's that synth bass kind of sound.
that rocked away with pain.
Yeah, a real scratchy distortion there. And is this, I don't know. I don't know what any of these samples or otherwise might well be. So please let me know if you know. But yeah, is this a recording from TV maybe?
Day after day after day after day, they strike at each other, hoping to find in greater pain a sedative.
Okay, I'm sure I can find that out. Why not? Let's have a look. Day after day after day, they strike at each other, hoping to find a sedative. Ah, well, Billy Woods came up. Why not? Let's look on Genius. Nope. Nope, nothing there from what this is. What's the other site that I found out about recently? Something about samples. I can't be bothered. I won't look for it right now. Let's keep going. Maquiladoras. Okay. Still that previous track, very much in keeping with this same thing. But one fun thing about this album is that these all have well, not all of the songs, but a lot of them have different producers, so it's really fun that they nonetheless have all cohered so nicely and they're making things in the same vein. It's really a cool accomplishment, because you wouldn't expect that from different producers. You would expect them to take their own stamp, and you know, they are doing that, but within this sound world, so they are subservient to the sound world, and I think that's a really cool thing for an album to do. So we have a new voice. Who is this going to be? Yomac, featured artist but producer, so I'm going to assume it's actually Al Divino, who is main artist but not producer. We've got this horrible bitty noise in the background, which just sounds like computer damage, doesn't it? With this higher, slightly higher voice, slightly more scratchy voice. And we've got an occasional of the kick drum coming through, but no strong rhythm other than that of the voice. Ooh, creepy falsetto note. Not what we would expect from these guys.
Gang banging, red and blue, large bloods and crips. Gave all I got, good as it gets. All I got in return was what good as this.
Still pretty much got a rhyme scheme here that stays fairly constant, but again the lines are not necessarily the same lengths, so it's a little unconventional.
Don't feel real, toast my chest for a cigarette burner, holding the film real, the pill to solve, no real result found, some stay afloat.
Strange extra vocal in the left, isn't that, with a really distorted sound to it, very high frequency distortion, not very high frequency but high frequency distortion, and it really, yeah, is very different, doesn't sit with the other things, maybe is appropriate with the kind of interference noise, so there's a connection there.
But in the end we all drown, halfway through the high saw his mom face before the stop.
What's really strange about it is that it's not taking up the slack from the main vocal, it's playing over it and distracting from it. That's a really weird thing to happen.
Now gunshot, here's pop, high pitch, white noise, dog whistle, devil in the detail, death is God's riddle. No more can I kick it, kids kicking candles and vigil.
Okay, so we got just actually mesmerized We've got yeah, we got like a electric piano chord in there that faded away, and then we got some more noise. Yeah, full on like white noise signal now, which has disappeared as soon as it was here, and we've got the piano back again. Yeah, something like that, isn't it? It's really, it's subtly discordant. It actually sounds kind of sweet because it's all in the mid-range.
Kids kicking candles and vigil. Brand new pistol in the AR, and even 18 before the AR. Don't even know they.
Actually, that's just a major 7th chord.
Don't forget you when you gone.
Is that on the top? Yeah, it's a little scary, but it's actually a little sweet, isn't it?
It won't hug your mother when she miss.
There's that noise again. Okay, the main vocal sort of seems to peter out at the end there, leaving us with these just immaculate collection of unusual timbres. Yeah, news reporters again. We've still got that kick drum smashing through the back. Okay, and there's Billy back again, taking some, wresting some control from the chaos that happened before, I think.
Reputation, how all this is created, the irrational rationalizations of the racists. The amputees has accepted, there's no escaping, except the prosthetics. They give ill-fitting.
A little of that echo again, except to be static, happens somewhere else slightly afterwards. Interesting, but only on one thing, and otherwise it's very, very dry.
Lives as gifts and insist you can only live in the present. Fanon dreamed of death every night in the desert, woke in hospital bed.
So this is a really good foil for the previous one. The previous one playing with really big reverbs and acoustics, and this one very dry, very as if it's on a small radio in a small room kind of thing.
CIA handlers gently pressing, wishing he died out there in the sand, bayoneted. You had the wrong answer to the right fucking question. Amputation, how you survive. You can't get away if you don't leave something behind. Trap.
Same, yeah. Lots of the same elements now continuing. So this does feel one of the more low key of the tracks. It feels softer, feels a little more approachable. We've got that relatively nice piano chord kind of thing. One of those. D, if you want to know, D major 7, add 11, with maybe an extra 13 as well.
The house flying an upside down pint glass and waited for it to die. It's still alive.
Okay, but now they're
staring
fading.
out compound eyes, 9 fingers.
Yeah, there's never a moment where you think this texture is solid and not evolving. Things are coming in and going out very, very quickly. The piano died down there, the noise died down there, but then the piano was suddenly back again and the noise was suddenly back again.
It's still tied. Keep extremities clear, the courthouse closed at 5.
Actually a clip from a radio seemingly there, a little bit of singing from a radio. That's fun.
5. Warned you. Some took it on the arm, caught in a trap. Some came of their own accord, a piece already cut, neatly wrapped in butcher paper.
Okay, everything's been closed over by a low pass filter again. We're just getting things bubbling through that.
Had to cut them off, I ain't had
The only
no
thing
option.
that isn't is Billy.
The type
Very
to come
clear.
back with the chop.
Okay, with that quick echo again. Well, no, not quick again. Back. It's kind of, yeah, about that. Interfering with itself. Someone call the police. Very soft here, very soft. Still you can hear that kick drum in the background, but very little noise. Piano just about cutting through. Kick drum maybe has stopped. Maybe everything has stopped, but we've still got half a minute left. All of a sudden, after being here with this chord. Suddenly shifting up a semitone with that saxophone. Really weird.
Time is on my side.
Yeah. Very straightforward major pentatonic melody there. Maybe even from a famous song, I don't know. Time is on my side. Nice. But yeah, if we were here before, here before, and suddenly going to here, it's quite a big change of sound. So fading down sort of exempts us from worrying about that too much, but still it feels a little jarring. And now we've just got two different melodies improvising at the same time. Sound of them together, though they're not quite tuned together, they still sound pretty consonant and friendly, and they're in the same key pretty much, so that's nice. But they still feel disconnected. Rhythmically, there's seemingly nothing that they're doing together. It's not playing counterpoint to each other, it's not accompanying each other, they're just two different melodies. The breath on that saxophone is hitting a bit crusher, I think, or a distortion so hard that it doesn't sound like breath, it sounds like bitty distortion. That's fun. Yeah, so a slightly different one there, I suppose. Now I will do one more, and I'm a fan of this one, and then I will try and do a part 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we can get through those 7. How many have we done today? 5, and we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 the first time. So I reckon we can do 7 the next time. Yeah, no problem. Alright, here we go. Dollar full of pins. Dollar full of pins? Anybody got a dollar full of pins? Could definitely make a good song. Wouldn't make as much sense as a doll full of pins. We know what that is. Best beware. Okay, we've still got the sax. This time it's got that echo on it again. So, you know, what is that? We've had it over a few different tracks. I would be tempted to put it in with a kind of psychedelic interpretation, because it's not a particularly scary thing to hear something echoing and echoing. So it doesn't quite fit in with our aesthetic in that respect. But with psychedelia, or with sort of, you know, let's say elevated consciousness, we have a lot of things that become warped from reality and can become horrific just by their warping. So maybe there's a connection in that, maybe there's a connection there. But it could also be sort of dub related, but dub, to be honest, I would say is like, it's very similar aesthetically to psychedelia. So yeah, so that's where I would put it in. I would put it in with elevated consciousness experience. That's what I would do. But overall here, our accompaniment is pretty band-like, isn't it? We've got a straightforward actual bass, we've got drums, and they are electric, but they are pretty straightforward as well. Not particularly aggressively distorted. A lot of kick drum and occasional snare.
All summer in a day, I spent all summer digging
2 saxophones now.
myself out of grade. Can't run with the wolves when you're astray. Can't let anyone know you getting paid. Can't let them.
Again, those 2 saxes, like in the previous track, they're not really playing together, although they are in the same key, which I think is probably, yeah, this kind of C minor. Feels a little like Since I've Been Loving You by Led Zeppelin in that respect, but also in the slow bluesy feel of it.
Need to connect. Your own people will get you up out the way.
There's actually 2 saxophones over on the left, I think.
I hit 20K
But one maybe only a few times.
in my mother basement. DC summer suffocating.
Yeah, sometimes more are coming in, and it's really strange, you know, the world keeps changing and morphing. This one, yeah, doesn't feel particularly scary, but it still has this lack of expectation about it.
Air pregnant, the whole city just waiting, tasting my own blood and bracelets, the plug impatient. Like fuck all that, I lived in the bus station. Niggas tried to yap me, I left town, I'm not tough. I came back when niggas got locked up, I know them.
Little pause there. Yeah, locked up, I know. Like there's no heralding of the end of that pause. I know, and then it comes in super fast after that. Our general chord progression is quite nice. It's on C minor for a while, and then it's got this A diminished, half diminished chord, which is actually the C just with an A in the bass, and then that changes down to an A flat. So it gives us an A flat major 7, but again that's like the same chord as the C, it's just with an A in the bass, and then we do get a little bit more of a G minor chord on the G, I think, but still a lot of that C minor chord sticking around with the G in the bass. So it's mainly keeping the same chord with a moving bass, and the moving bass is a pretty classic moving bass.
Niggas is dumb.
Almost a lament kind of bass.
Niggas is dumb.
Heart full of pins.
Female voice. Dart full of pins.
Come to me with your sin.
Just a lot of C minor pentatonic,
It's a list of names.
but not there. So that long note there is a D, which is one of the more beautiful notes to have with a C minor chord. I really like it. It makes it a minor 9 chord, and it's a really romantic kind of sounding chord.
Foes and friends. It's all the same in the end. They're all the same in the end. Oh, graspy little men.
So, is this a hook, would you say, or is this something that's going to evolve somewhat? We've got fewer saxophones in this bit, but we still have one on the left.
I'm a doll full of pins. Yeah.
Okay, that's the second one.
Mold again and again and again and again. Oh.
Yeah, so this time we didn't get the. So I'm thinking that this is something that's very improvised, unexpected, playing with unexpected, but not necessarily playing with the scary this time.
It never ends.
From that top saxophone, nice choice of the major 7 there. I really like it, bending up to the 8. Just a nice little choice. Same thing. You know, that might not be a saxophone because it has a slightly sweeter sound. It could be a clarinet, maybe. Either way, sounds great. Let's check if it's on the credits just in case. It's never on the credits, but we have Yolanda Watson, who is presumably the singer here. That's good. Okay, again, lots more sounds came in there, and we sort of lost the space. It was a really strange feeling. As we keep at a G pedal, this dominant chord of the key. Okay, there's another drum beat coming through, but it really isn't fitting just yet. Let's see when it gets in. So many things wobbling around. Okay, it's established itself now. Boom, boom, ta, boom, boom, ta. But the swing rhythm of the previous one, dum, is still around, so it really feels strange.
Might bottle it like white women tears. Might throttle to spit out this.
Yeah, one of them in 3 really. Boom, ta, and this is in 4. So there's a real dislocation. No, I don't know. Really uncomfortable juxtaposition of the two. Feels very strange.
Playing with me for real. Lines of hearses, they put the curse on the whole.
We've got so much more ambient noise in here. It sounds like, what, a mower or something? Really old motor.
Family, but it's hard not to feel like we got it the worst. As quiet as my soul was for purchase. I replied, unfortunately, it's long gone, but might not interest.
Yeah, so we still have a little bit of pitch stuff, but it's a lot less clear. The bass is really giving us it with one saxophone hanging around. Still, I think, in the same key, really.
Doing something else. Wasn't no timeouts. We got welts from the belt. Wasn't none of that. Just fuck around and find out. GOLLIWOG showed up on the shelf. Pop up.
He said it. He said it. That's the name of the album.
Like the kid's book. Kid got his wig split.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a shift every few bars from this G main kind of place to like an A flat place, maybe an E flat place.
GOLLIWOG by the window like he having a look.
It's pretty quick.
At night it's little feet. Retreat to my room, wedge debris between the door and the floor. At night it's tiny sharp teeth. Kill all rats, yeah, but you gotta pay that fee. Trying to play slick.
Yeah. So it only happens for maybe 2 bars. Go back again to the G. So strange and totally different to how we started, isn't it? Well, not timbre-wise. I guess we've still got the bass, we've still got drums, we've still got saxophone. The drums don't sound the same. The bass is being clouded out by this strange motor sound. The sax doesn't even sound the same. It sounds a little darker. So maybe this is a tenor saxophone and we started with an alto saxophone, maybe.
Just had the dough.
There's that more bright alto saxophone again. At least I think it's that. I'm not massively familiar with the timbres of different saxophones, so I could be wrong. Okay, that's interesting. The voice has suddenly changed to match the tune of the sax down an octave.
This week with the woe is me. Just had the dough.
Yeah, one low just for a little moment there. Strange and really back in the mix as well. And yeah, just suddenly happens. Suddenly we stop with the verse, then we get this extra second.
To kill. Big pianist, 2 brothers.
We've got an extra bit of sampling here, or something like that. Very high frequency noise, so probably with a high pass filter on it, so it doesn't feel very grounded in a normal speaking voice timbre.
I can do that for you.
And again, it's got its own room.
What will you give me in return?
Sounds very creepy. We just got some really nasty noise there.
I don't know. I will.
Really heavy,
As we go.
even as it fades out. And it's sudden fade there. With a few seconds to go, we just suddenly cut everything. Well, yeah, that's quite a powerful one. And interestingly, that what could have been a hook in the first half there ended up not coming back at all. So again, a sudden, like, well, not sudden here. We sort of morphed into the beat switch, didn't we? Quite a weird thing to happen. Overall, a weird structure again. A verse, some level of singing bit, verse, and then another verse, and again these ends not necessarily connected very strongly to the rest of the material. It's overall seemingly the main focus is on making a ever-evolving cinematic journey with these songs that has some level of horror to it, or a massive level of lack of expectation anyway. You're always outfoxing the listener, which is cool, very powerful. All the things are good by themselves as well, aren't they? It's not like I'm just going, yeah, well, he's done it, you know, correctly for the thing he's trying to make. All of these things are really exciting journeys by themselves. No doubt, a lot better if you look at the lyrics as well. So do that for yourselves. I sometimes do if I really like the album. It's just not very important to me. I'm much more about doing the exciting things with music, and this album is all about that. Yeah. And I would say maybe the last half of it might even be the best half. So yeah, hopefully I'll find the time to do that. Maybe not next week, maybe the week after, but sometime before the end of the year. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do many other part 2s just because I don't have time. But I have a new idea for what I should do next year regarding albums that I like during the year that I want to do more of, because it's not fair just giving them 2 or 3 tracks at the beginning and then not following up. I predictably have not managed to fit in as much in November and December as I had intended. Never mind. Let's try again next time. Have a great day. See you soon. Have a great life. Maybe I'll see that at some point too. Bye. Have a good evening as well, and maybe even enjoy yourself. Bye.